what should my daughter do? What's going to be the best for her development? And I think there is a sense that you are going to play a higher level of hockey if you play with boys at the same relative level.
Right.
If you wanted to play at the highest level, you want to play with the boys. That would be the best for your development. Some people still think that. Not everybody believes that that's actually the case.
No, for sure. And I think that's been a lot of the pushback from the people who govern women's hockey in Ontario and across Canada is that there was, for sure, without a doubt, at some point in history, and I don't know when that point began and ended, hopefully it's ended, where there was an assumption that boys hockey is just better. And if you were a girl that could play boys hockey, you were a better player. Mm-hmm. That's simply not the case. I'm speaking to Roger Nurse, the father of Sarah Nurse, one of the great players on our national team and a great player on the Scepters. And Roger Nurse kind of laughs about that because, he raised a daughter, Sarah, and two sons playing hockey. And his underlying sort of advice to parents is always, you'll be the player you are in boys hockey or girls hockey if you're a girl.
Right.
Because Sarah, guess what? Sarah, when she played boys-only hockey or co-ed hockey, she was one of the few girls in Hamilton growing up, she was reeling off 50-goal seasons against boys.
Right.
Guess what? She reeled off 50-goal seasons against girls, too, when she switched to girls hockey.
And if you're like kind of a grinder on your co-ed team, you're not going to suddenly go and be a dangler on your girls team.
Precisely. That's the point Roger was making. There are a lot of dads who think, well, if my daughter can hang with the boys, she's going to just light it up in girls. And Roger Nurse's point was that's not really the case. If you're a stay-at-home defenseman against boys, you're not going to become, the next, great rushing defenseman against girls. That's not the player you are. It's a similar game. It's still the same game. It's still hockey. The skills are still the same. The goalie's still there. There's players you have to get around. There's a puck you have to put on a stick and make some magic with it if you want to be Magic. And you won't become magical just because you move from playing against boys as a girl to playing against girls as a girl. So that, I think, is one of the misconceptions that has long haunted the game and led to sort of some head knocking between the people who govern girls hockey and women's hockey and the people who govern hockey at large. And I think rightly so.